push up, nothing meanwhile getting the first strike of the matchup. First strike of the round, sorry, on the Sim, but Sahil, that trick works out. It's that weapon to defend himself, and he's the only one who's ever actually has it there. Instead with him, and he gets one more. With the pistol on the firearms, can he get a ball? He will! What is with the smoke? Yes, Sahil taking down, resulting into a 4v5 scenario. And again, Muffin's gonna stand to the smoke, but hitting nothing. Aesop meanwhile pushing in, gets one more, and runs away as the shorty comes out for Muffin. Not
Can he do anything? He has the champion's Vandal in his hand, but will he become the champion? He gets one. There is another player coming inside. Sanity was there, and he only needs the classic, putting that angle, so as soon as anyone peeks through the smoke, they will be gone down. Down to their so low HP, really need to be on fire, getting taken down, and okay, the time.
And the recon spots out Sahil as Savage with the Odin, keeps going, doesn't even need an
not like this. Not like this.
The Odin spam.
They are much aware of the situation, and they're not giving away anything for free. But they did give away, but the kill was given away for free.
You can see outside getting a frag in the sand, keeping away. Fine. Yeah.
Oh,
got a frag though. Savage. That should be
letting it. One thing they're not letting go to their heads is M21. But they interesting round. Finally, they have a man advantage, and Dreadeye is inside of the site. Savage does get Sim.
A recon comes in, and Sahil is going to be dodging that expertly. Gets one, gets the second from Heaven as well. The recon doesn't spot that little corner on the box.
Miss Tails, and Azrael is the last person alive, and the
idea that might be what's happening here are not going for any super aggressive pushes, which is what a lot of teams do. Azrael with that Headhunter hunts the head, just confirming the fact that this first map might go in favor of Headhunter. As Stim trying to creep in. I don't think the turret spotted him. Did it shoot? I don't. Oh no. Don't make fun of my man over there. Sandy gets a frag on the CM side. Beginning, as Savage sending some shock darts flying. The entry is gonna be going down. We do see Dreadeye with a frag onto Elias. But Sahil
need to go back. I don't think the Sova has any ultimate to deny that, and they're going back already in. Yeah, he will see one player, takes him, and immediately gets shut off. Sanity is there with the frags and only 2v2.
What's happening? I'm
they
confused.
Just big brain themselves?
I don't know who big brain, the people who hunt brains or heads. I don't know. Say. As Sanity spots out the last player and he gets the last frag. The 4v2 scenario pops the ultimate. He's expecting players to be coming in from arcade. The other entry into the B side. And once there's a great neon stuff comes in along, he's to get a couple of frags.
And again, Reyna flashes, the neon rushes, everything is going in.
I would definitely be giving the ace to my teammate. They're all hunting for him, and there it is, Aesop getting the trade on. As we see Venom falling back from this side for now. Dota Force is active for the side of Venom. For the side, oh, what was that? I don't know, but enough to get.
They're getting third.
Yep. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but a bunch of frags just went down, resulting in one becomes.
He's gonna be dead.
Up the sky. He lives, but now Elias is aware of position.
Still, Muffin though gets one, gets two. Now suddenly it's a 2v2. Very much doable. And Neon is using his hands and even gets a frag, but Elias, he
jacking one on the Sandy as well, getting a couple of frags on that B side. Now we might see more executions coming in from the side of M21. The operator still being held by Simp and lands another quick one on the Sasuke. This is all they needed. All
players, and now Viper does come into play. The Viper's pit is there. I might see him. Oh, get tapped in the head. The Viper is the only.
You can try and go for the trades quite easy. The flash comes in at the right time and a peek, but Aesop is the one to get the frag.
Yeah, it does deny a lot of vision. There is a molly present from the Brimstone. And again,
what's happening? What is he doing? So the side of Headhunters played this smartly instead of going for aggressive peek. That's straight out Elias Muffin. He's still on for an ace if he gets both of these players. As the spike will be planted, he gets two through the smoke. The other teams, but still, buys available for the side of Venom as Sanity is going to be greeted to a jet with knives. Rotating back to the side of A as we can see a recon coming in, and we're going to see the Hunter's Fury, the Rolling Thunder, all the other aftershock taking down Voidsy and Sasuke gets the frag over there. The retake is underway. So much is happening.
I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something. And Neon again is inside of the site, and somehow, oh, Stim. And Muffin has a judge in his hand, and he even gets a frag with the judge. How are you doing this, Sasuke? Just see
a certain degree of planning. Like, okay, we move in. I use my utility there. Yeah, there's a method to the madness.
Again, Reina flashes, Neon rushes, everything is going in.
The Voidsy upgrades to a Vandal flashing in, might catch a couple of players. Oh, spam from Ace of Muffins coming in, suggests that this is a dash and Simp. He's gonna be stuck between a rock and the hard place as he sees! Still alive somehow, I think Sandy with a couple of frags and pulls out the operator. Ace of finishes him off as right with the double kill.
Grand finals point for them. Because if they win the next round, they'll be in the grand finals. Well, those are the teams.
The scenario as Venom moving in for the retake. The Jet is there. I believe Elias revealing his position and yeah, they definitely need to go in and get that spike diffuser Venom as soon as they can, but Rosa with the first frag and Stars. Oh, Rosa, he's gonna going for more as the spike diffuser is gonna be tapped. He's gonna get a follow-up with Insurgent to get the final frag.
Pistols in your hand when the other team has not ARs but still automatic weapons, and within a matter of seconds, 5 of the players from Venom just falter.
It's gonna be turned into a 4v5 with spike finishing going on for Mr. Red, but Assassin's High. Bit of a Viper tip there, but straight out immediately as Rosa. The revival seems to be paying off. He's gonna get a couple of frags. Mr. Red as well, jumping around fast, gets one onto Rosa, but Mr. Red from behind to finish things off. Can do some serious damage on the long range, trying to land a flick, doesn't get the shot, but gets the one onto Missile. Chamber Dip is activated, gets another flick onto Hermione. This operator is going big for him. Always nice to see as the Viper Spit is gonna be coming in. Rosa with the Blade Stone gets the frag on. They push all the way deep. You do see Mahin deep inside the Viper Spit, falls out the Sage, gets the frag, and then he's gonna be falling back. He is, I believe, has his Viper Spit is still up. Fast, what are you gonna do? The Ace taking effect, but Kyojin lands the headshot.
To get a single. Rosa gets 3 of his own. Ravzar is the only person alive with a Guardian in his hand. They should have not gone for the buy. Ravzar does manage to find a single kill. That will be hit.
Side, but a good flank is there immediately. As Hermione, oh, flick of the wrist, gets a shot on the pass, and the follow-up on Ravzar. Rosa, meanwhile, doing work.
Hand, and we did see him do very well with his ultimate. And the first thing he does is taking out the opponent chamber for actually can manage to hold it out. Will be the winner. Missile had only a single bullet, wins it out. Ravzar has an operator to save, I believe, but he will take Missile down with him as the spike gets kicked off.
The Viper Spit will be down if Kyojin gets one more frag. He does. Now the side is there for the taking. Mine just walks in.
It's because, again, Venom, this is your map pick. I was hoping Venom to do something very, very astronomical and very, very surprising.
What
and
am I looking at? Hermione trade him out again. A lot of utility being thrown down the mid, and I believe SC, they're just trying to bulldoze their way through. They're just executing. And that's why he's going to be chased. There's a player right next to him as he gets a shot, but Hermione from behind.
Patus tried to jump spot and did actually spot a player. Those players are falling back. No, they aren't. A beautiful one-way through.
And he is spotted now. They're all triangulated on you. Recon.
Yeah, he has.
2 versus 3. They need to be together. They need to be playing on the same side as we see a double pincer maneuver coming in.
As soon as the bell gets rung, Venom will go in, and the Reina flash is in a good place. It did flash out a lot of players, and Patus goes in with the frenzy. They know where the other player is, but that player is Rosa. Not the easy players to take down. They knew that the Jet already has the dash ready. There is a swarm grenade which will slow them down. Rosa will dash in and get a kill.
Did he Omen out there? I don't know how he got there. I think Captive uses ultimate try and get into that position, and Sitsuck's going to get a couple of frags. But Rosa with the Blaze Storm gets a couple of his own. It's going to be a 3v2 scenario. The revive is going to be oncoming, and I believe the revive has been activated behind, and Sitsuck's peak at the right time. Rosa wallbangs the southern side with his classic, but Sitsuck's copper rifle or so. There should be one on the ground, but Rossar. Oh, Kyojin gets a nice headshot pick. Already a lot of impact found on the Nico round. 2 frags. Oh, I don't know what I'm looking at.
What would work out? Okay, Robzar though, starting things off.
Once again, a 4v2 scenario. Hunters 3 available. I'm not sure using it to the best of I can now, but Assassin's here with a quick trade. Oh, Kyojin coming in from the flank, but
Time I got to know what the name of KO's ultimate is. It's Null Command. But yeah, Mr. Red though sends a Null Command to the head of Assassin's Scythe, Killjoy diff, and he wins it out. Rabzar is there, and Rabzar wins it out, but there comes the peak from the Omen again. On the second map, it is an improvement because it took them map.
oh,
Sorry, a nutty shot by Scythe and Mahin wants Vectron is in front of A main, but he doesn't have the spike, and Mr. Red finds but Mahin is there.
Jumping around like a crazy man. Trying to go in to take market control. There is going to be a player inside there though as Rosa takes on Mahin, but inside the smoke is going to be Rapsar. He's going to be taking him down. Yes, no, wait, what did you say? You don't cut the knife, I'm sorry. Gap for...
Yeah. Oh, both of them detained now.
They're both detained.
What?
This is a race against the clock. This is a race against the clock. Can they survive? No.
It was just at the nick of time. At the nick of time. As soon as the attackers had the rifle for them, mine. Okay, that's an interesting pick. And but mine is the only person alive now. There is a player inside of Boathouse. There are players inside of B main. And that's what a player, but 5 bullets.
Oh, running out of bullets. It sucks. We'll be getting the first frag. Batus will be spawning. The Jet walking in as Rosa and Mahin get a couple of their own. Kyojin is still going to be walking into the side. Assets have taken care of Mr. Red. Absolute abomination planted. Sassinchai placing that turret, sending a storm nade flying as well. Oh, unusual dash, but will be enough for Hermione to get the frag and the headshot.
Vectors in the round, they are going to be buying in the next round regardless. Vectron though, 2 of the players for Venom are very low on HP. That KO utility gets a frag, but Mahin
here on the edges, so winning out on this one will definitely be very advantageous to them, but not a good start as committing to it. Spikeman going down, and it is going to be a 5v4 retake scenario, 4v4 as Mahin gets one traded up, and Mr. Red.
There is a flank. There's a flank present from Hitbox. He gets one. He even sees the alarm. Sorry, he takes bot, but now SE have to be aware of that position, and then all of those players were just so worried.
Again, I have said this. Oh, aggressive play from Rosa, not giving me a chance to speak. Typical Rosa, as we see Sitsucks gonna get a trade, but Sitsucks is gonna be canceling him out. Kurbani has this Paranai, and Rosa is Vectron is definitely going to be one of the Kurbanis happening, and Rapstar is going to be taking him down. The dash comes in.
Are in the hands of SE, so they will be able to do something. Rosa opens it up.
Whoa! They all just ignore him. No, they all just ignore him like my course ignores me, as we are going to be seeing them pushing down that heaven position. And no, that could be the death of them. Rosa. Triple kill for him as Red gets a frag, all on to Patus, and he's going to be taken down as well.
True kills to his name. Again, a drone going out should be able to spot one player. Easy kill. Okay! But he dies with him. There are three.
He will be getting a frag onto Rosa. Rosa being a Hermione spots out the player in that mid as well. Shockback will do a lot of damage, and he just takes them out.
Stay put. They have to like really wait for this thing to actually come out, but they're gonna spam and they're gonna get fragged, and one player detained, but that player detained I believe was Rosa, who just dashed away. Still is detained, and Patus will find 2 frags, but that player detained I believe was Rosa, who just dashed away. Still is the
Patus, he's got to hold on to as long as he can on the flank. Try and buy some time. Oh no. Alright, And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Logitech ready to play Bangladesh series, and it's the big day. It's the day we've all been waiting for since the beginning of the tournament, back a month, 150 teams, and we're down to the last two. Before we go into the tournament, it's me, Kirito, taking you through this matchup. Alongside me is DJ Bab, and how are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today, so I might not be as enthusiastic with my voice as I am usually, but still, I'm really excited for this match because we saw these teams play against both of the veteran rosters, and now they have finally made it to the grand finals after beating 150 teams. They are the best of the best, and they actually are the best of the best because they are one of the better, few of the better teams in Bangladesh. Septem, Exierant, and Insurgent HeadHunters, top tier rosters. They are going head to head, and if any match goes to a best of three, it has to be this match. It has to be because both of these teams, they are all veteran players. They have been playing for a long time since the beginning of the Valorant scene in Bangladesh. They have been consistently fragging out, winning tournament after tournament. So this is it is somewhat about the prize money, the 70,000 taka prize pool, but it's also about bragging rights. Who gets to call themselves the best in Bangladesh?
Indeed, and I mean, they've been through a long time, a long journey, and I'm surprised these teams even still have the energy to go on with this every single day. They've been playing tournaments day in, day out, matches day in, day out, and it's been tiring just, watching and casting these matches, although I have a great time every now and then when there's a really exciting matchup. But it definitely takes the wind out of you. It definitely requires a lot of energy, and I just gotta applaud the players for making it this far, and not just probably fainting on the ground. I mean, TJ's only been here for a couple of days. He's already sick. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? But yeah, we are going to be going in. It's a best of three to remind you guys. And before I talk about the match anymore, I want to remind you that this tournament is organized by Logitech G, and our strategic partner is In-Game Esports. Make sure you show your support to them before we go in. And one more thing is that this is not the end for the Ready to Play series, guys. This is just Season 1. And based on the results of the Season 1, we're going to be making a multi-divisional format through which we're going to seed the teams for Season 2. So we're going to have way better matches, way more evenly matched up matches, so we don't get to see one-sided matches. We're gonna actually properly find out the best of the best in the next season. Although I gotta admit, I think we had a pretty solid, solid tournament. Even though it's just starting from the qualifiers, knocking out one by one to the grand finals, it was a solid tournament, and I got to see a lot of new faces that have a lot of potential. But in the next one, hopefully, they're gonna have an even better chance to shine and a more exciting tournament.
Yeah, and if we are talking about the finalists, we can see their rosters. We have our first roster in front of us, which is Insurgent HeadHunters, Elias, Aesop, Sasuke, Savage, Muffin, Sanity. All of these players are very good players themselves in their regard, and especially Elias. I picked him for the player of the day last match when they did play, and I believe he can be the showstopper, the star player for Insurgent HeadHunters today also.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what we get out from him. But on the opposition end, it's the menacing Septem, Exierant, Missile, Mr. Red, Vectron, Rosa, Kyojin, and Hermione. I mean, even saying these names, you gotta feel a little bit like, oh damn, it's SC. And I'm pretty sure HeadHunters, despite them looking really strong, looking really good, you gotta feel a little bit nervous going against these players. I mean, Rosa, he's been on an absolute tear this entire tournament with the Jet, getting in all these positions, dashing in there and doing stuff that I didn't even think was possible with the Jet. I mean, the sky's the limit, but they're still out here getting these frags. And on the other side, we also have Missile and Hermione, Kyojin. They've all been providing support as well. We've seen Vectron in and out in some of the matches, and they're all super consistent. Their strategy is super, fluent, and it's just nice to see them play whenever they do what they do.
Yeah, it is always a treat when you get to see. I would like to call them Missile and Co. But in this tournament, they are known as Septem Exierants, and it's always a treat to see them. And it will be a better treat to see them go up against Insurgent HeadHunters, because Insurgent HeadHunter, this roster, the core of this roster has stuck together for a long time. They were young up and coming players. Septem Exierant's roster, they came from CSGO. They played a lot of CSGO together, and then they came into Valorant. But the players that are in HeadHunters, those players just came into the Valorant scene when Valorant as the game was announced, and it all started with Valorant. So most of these players, Valorant is their first competitive game. So it is experience versus young players, and still they have shown that they can be the better team. They have beaten Venom 5 Horsemen, and also the other team has beaten Venom's Venom 21 roster. And we did have another match between those two Venom rosters about our third place decider match, and Venom 5 Horsemen did come out as the winner. So we already have our third place. Let's see who becomes first and second, and that will be decided in this today's best of 3 match.
Yeah, and speaking of the best of 3, I have the map pool in my hands right now, and you're all excited to find out what maps are going to be played. And I gotta say, I'm not disappointed with what the teams went for. In the first pick, we have Ascent. It has been picked by Insurgent Esports HeadHunters, and SCF decided to defend for the first half. The second map's going to be the Cold Tundra of Icebox, where Insurgent HeadHunters are going to be defending, and it has been picked by Septem Exierant. And the final map, which I beg to God, please, we're going to be going there today. It's going to be Bind, and it is going to be Insurgent HeadHunters going to defend for the first half. Because, I mean, we've been on Bind, we've seen the matches on Bind, but it's still, again, the third place match just increases the stakes. It just increases the hype for the tournament. And I mean, it can't be a grand finals without going the full mile. You have to get to the final map. So hopefully we're going to be seeing that today. But what are your thoughts on the map pick, TJ? Would you think which teams got the advantage, or is it evened up or something?
I would say for this grand finals, the map is very evened up. Both, like I said, and the Icebox are very evened up. Whenever the sides do swap, there is an advantage on the defender side of Icebox, but that advantage is slight because these players, they know how to pick up sides, especially Rosa getting into sites with the Jet and opening things up. So everything is up in the air right now. You cannot actually say who will be the better team going into any of these maps, whether that be Ascent, whether that be Icebox, or whether we actually get to Bind. Because I would say Bind is the most balanced map between these 3. So I would really like to see this go to a third map.
Indeed, and Bind kind of goes away from the traditional way a map is, positioned and the map is made. You usually have a mid and your entrance to your 2 sites. That's how every tactical FPS works. But usually in Bind, we do see the mid is split into 2 halves, and you can access both sides by the teleporter. And the teleporters, they make the game so much more interesting and just makes Bind a much more fun map. I mean, each map in the side of Valorant have their own interesting features. We have the teleport for Bind, we have 3 sites on Haven, we have a giant rope on Fracture, and what else is there to say? We also have ropes on Icebox as well, which we're excited to see. So there's just so much going on, and I think one more thing that I want to point out is a similarity between these 2 teams. As you said, it's sort of a young versus old boys type of match going on here, but each of these teams sort of have that balanced blend. Like for the side of Insurgent, we already have Elias. He's a very Sasuke. They're both kind of experienced. They have played the game for a while, even though they did sort of start with Valorant. I think they were a bit in CS, but some of the new players as well, they were able to groom and coach and make them what they are today. And that's going to be really important going into have that balance to let your young dogs go crazy and you call the shots and you make sure you keep them on their leash so they can properly help other teams. Same thing for the side of SC. We have Hermione, we have Missile. They've been playing for a while, and now some of these new dogs, Vectron, they've all come in and made this team so much more stronger and made the whole competition that much more exciting. But looks like we are ready for the matchup. That was a bit unexpected, but I'm happy with the outcome. First map is going to be Ascent, and
we didn't even pick our operators. No operator predictions.
I'm pretty sure we've got it down to the T right now. We know what they're going to be coming up with.
Yeah, it's a
Septem Exierant.
There's going to be an Omen.
Yeah, an Omen, maybe even a KO or a Brimstone. But we are going to be seeing a double duelist lineup coming in for the side of HeadHunters to confirm, as Elias going on that Omen, Muffins at Jet, Aesops on the Reina, Savage on the Sova, Zanti on that Killjoy. SC going with a similar lineup, but instead of a double duelist, they're opting to go for a double initiator. So instead of the Reina, they're going with the KO. And I think that's going to make things very interesting. As I said, Ascent's a very puggy map, and it's going to be a bit of a clash between pure gunfire and information collecting and analyzing. So let's see what's going to come out on top today.
Yeah, we are really, really excited to see, this is the accumulation of this whole tournament, and we are finally getting to go into the map. And we do have Septem on defense and HeadHunters on the attack. There is a KO present on the defensive side of things, so they will be able to use that KO to see if anyone rushes into any side, but the KO is now focusing on mid. There is a flash, and Rosa is going in, and they have the information that there is nobody going into B. There is one player inside of, it's not even inside A, he's inside of Gardens, the Killjoy, but Rosa peeking there, taking out that bot should be a dead giveaway that there is a flank coming in. The Killjoy had a lot of utility, but that utility was not able to make any substantial amount of dent into the face of Insurgent, but Insurgent Headhunters, they are taking down player after player. Mr. Red, the Killjoy, down to 10 HP, the last person alive inside of Gardens. There's not much he can do. There's one low player from the side of Insurgent Headhunters, that is the Sova, who should be staying back and just observing the whole situation, and that Omen guns down Mr. Red, and the first round goes to Insurgent Headhunters.
Yeah, quite an exciting start, and I think the side of SE making a bit of a gamble over here in the first round. They thought that it was going to be an A-side push from the end of Headhunters, and they could not be more wrong. It was an entire B-side push. They did make the wide decision of letting the Killjoy stay alone in A, because the Killjoy wide range of utility is pretty effective at stopping any entry, but that didn't stop Headhunters from walking in to get the pistol. They got the spike down, they were able to get the bias in the follow-up, and they got full armor and specters, although I think I saw a frenzy in the hands of one of the players. But Rosa, the Omen Paranoid comes in, and they're trying to go for cheeky plays. Rosa able to dash out, but Aesop pulling out that Spectre, getting a couple of frags. Rosa trying to find the impact, but Aesop with a triple kill and absolutely denies any attempt for the side of SE to try and stop that push. Rotations are coming in. Spike is already getting planted.
Spike planted.
Yeah, Spike being planted. There's not much these players from SE that can do. They have Classics and a shorty in Missile's hand. Missile is holding the tight angle, hoping for players to try to get into CT and fall under his shotgun. Kyojin is there to help with the spot and also the bait, but will Headhunters fall for the bait? Missile drops down, makes a lot of noise, so Headhunters should be aware that there might be a player coming in. There is no point in saving these weapons. They should go for a Hail Mary last minute push. Seems like they might be going for it. Kyojin sees one player, but as soon as he sees that player, his head gets taken off. Missile trying to hold on to exit frags, but he will die with the spike. So 2 back-to-back rounds for Insurgent Headhunters, but this gives an opportunity to Septem Exierant. They lost the first 2 rounds, but now they have enough money in the bank to go for the rifles, whereas these players from Headhunters, they all have Spectres in their hand. The bonus round might be the beginning of the win streak coming out from SE, but me saying that, I just might have jinxed them.
Yeah, that thing, the Caster's Curse, is a thing, and yeah, it's years of experience. I mean, it's only been a couple of years, but I've seen enough curses to know that it's real. But yeah, we are going to see one singular Vandal going into the hands of Aesop for the buy round, and Mr. Red through the smoke. I believe the Sova utility helped him out there, but he gets a frag onto Muffin as the entry is going to be happening. Aesop pushes in, but it's looking at the wrong angle. Hermione will be taking him out from the off angle as the spike will be going down. That is going to be a big thing though, as they will get enough money in the follow-up buy rounds, and with the weapons advantage, I don't think Headhunters are expecting to try and win this round. They just want to damage the economy, as Rosa gets a frag traded by Savage. 2v4 scenario as Savage gets one more, finally traded by Hermione. Sanity sees 2 players in stairs, trying to keep doing damage to the economy for as long as he can. He has enough HP as Hermione's trying to stick to the fuse. He gets taken down. Okay. Ooh. Almost gets one more frag, and Missile will be putting an end to his spree. But he did get 3 frags, so that's money in the bank.
Yeah, that's money in the bank. That's money taken away from SE, and it got a little bit dicey at the end. But yeah, SE do manage to win out the bonus round for them. But after this bonus round, they did lose 3 of their players, so they won't be having the best of the money in their bank. So it is a matter of we are yet to see what they are actually able to buy in this next round. But players from Headhunters, they should be comfortable with an AR buy. We already see Hermione going with a Bulldog buy because yeah, there's not much money in the bank. Mr. Red opting to go for that Spectre, so it's still with half armor Rosa. It's going to be a very, very hectic round, if I must say. But on the other side, if we look at the Headhunters, all of them have ARs, all of them are ready. And although the players are ready, there is a technical pause being called. So we will wait out till then. We are being denied of this exciting match because we saw the first few rounds. Although Headhunters are on a lead, the opening was nice for them, but it's still a very very even playground between these two teams.
Yeah, we still got a long way to go, and I think it's good. It's sort of looking at this in a positive note about the pause. It is early in the matchup, but yeah, this is just showing that the teams are taking no chance about this tournament, even if it's a technical or a tactical. They want to make sure everything is perfect, nothing is going wrong for either end, and all know their plans, they all know their roles, so that I mean, there's basically they're trying to foolproof the entire game, the entire strategy. And for now, Headhunters are looking quite foolproof with their rifles as they're trying to barge into the B side. We do see Hermione trying to spam on that dashing angle where the Jet is inside, is going to be closing the door. Rotations are already here, but in the backside is looking. Hyojin gets a frag, and he will be traded out, but that was a great crosshair placement on his end. 4v4 scenario, retake is commencing already. The spike is yet to be planted, but there we go. Finally, Sanity getting the spike down. And now 4v4 retake activated for either end. We do see an Rain ultimate available for the side of Headhunters, but do they want to go for it?
Yeah, they should be going for it. The faster they get the rounds going on for them, the better for them, because you do not want to give SE any headway into this map. The Cloudburst goes in, and players do go down with it. The only player alive was Muffin, the Jet. He was trying to play the Cloudburst and stay alive, just dancing around it. But it's like they have 3 players on the opposition, so it's not that easy. You will get pincered from all the angles, and that was the case. So SE coming back into this map, I was about to jinx them, but the caster curse does not work for them. They are making the comeback. Already have 2 rounds on the board, and Rosa has an operator in his hand. Jet, even after the recent nerfs, the operator is a very very viable weapon in the Jet's hand. On the other side of Headhunter, they do have some money, but if they actually if they want to buy in this round, it will be scraping the bottom of their barrel, and they don't want to do that. They do not want to be penniless in the next round, so they will be going for I believe I did see a half buy coming out from them, specters and shotguns, and I believe it will be a rush, but there is a player disconnected from them, and that player is back. So we'll be going into this round shortly.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a calculated risk if you are going to go for the buy. You have to make sure you win out that round so that you don't lose the weapons, you don't damage your economy too much, and you also try and do the counter damage onto your opponent's economy. Because sometimes you don't win the round, but you do play an effect on the game by getting frags and maybe canceling out the economy, not letting them plant, not letting them diffuse. All that stuff goes and plays a big role in the long run. So either team are definitely keeping that in mind, and that's just showing that how complicated some of these games get. When you see one team winning out rounds, they're just getting all the frags, but they keep losing players every single time. And slowly, that's not only going to damage your economy, that will also damage the momentum a little bit. Even though you're winning rounds, it does kind of, sting a little bit when you die. And hopefully both teams are going to be playing that mental game strongly as well. And so far, it's so far so good. 2-2 scoreline. This is the close matches that we've been willing to see ever since the beginning, as Rosa through the smoke. Great prediction. Aesop eliminated early on in this round. Great recon from Hermione as well. Doesn't gather much info, but does ping one player. Trying to get the wall bang, not connecting. Oh, Muffin, that's a tight angle. And he gets a nice frag onto Hermione. 4v4 traded out even. And this is a mid push. Rosa doesn't have the dash though. Does he want to go for this risky pick? He knows that there are players there. He can hear the noise. He's not going for it, not just yet, as the execution in the B side is happening.
Yeah, it's still a 4v4, and there's nobody inside of B, and it looks like Septem, Insurgent Headhunters have found a favorite site, which is B. They have been hitting this site time and time again, and although they have been able to get the spike down multiple times, but it has been retaken. So again, an attacker Killjoy goes out, and Mr. Red goes down with it. 3v3 retake still. Very, very good chances for the retake to happen, and the Headhunters, they are really adamant on stopping this. One player was detained, Kyojin, so it will essentially be 2 players going in. Cloudburst go in, Rosa trying to distract them as much as they can, but the time is getting ticked away. Will they be able to do it in time? They get 2
my
players
God,
down.
Rosa.
There is only 1 player inside a boathouse. Rosa did not have enough bullets. The player dashes in front of him. Kyojin, though, it has complete faith in
Does he
Missile,
have it,
and
though? I don't
Missile.
think...
Oh, he has it. He has it.
Oh,
He has it. It was so close. They did it at the nick of time, and that was like this is how the experience and this is how the core roster taken together comes into play, because he was surely about to die. If had he not put in faith in his teammate Missile, he might have died with the spike, but he did have faith in him, and he capped it. He was not looking any other way, and Missile did the job for him, had the backup for him, and that is what won the round. And again, the bank is just going up in the side of SE and HeadHunters. Again, down to scraps.
The eco for them is going to be happening without a doubt. We do see an operator still in the hands of Rosa. He did find impact last round with the rifle, but he's willing to go for that again. Great stuff from him in the follow-up. Muffin's going to be playing the Blade Storms. Economy is down to the scraps for their end, as they're looking to find an opening pick. Kyojin might go for a flash out and peek on mid. There are players there, so he might find a nice shot, but it's going to be Missile instead, taking down Muffin. And they should know now, the side of HeadHunters, that there are players down in that mid area. But they're trying to make their way into the A side, where we only have 1 player, the Killjoy, holding on to the site. We do also have Rosa in main. Oh, Santi walks in, Mr. Red. Easy frag for him with 1 more. Onto Aesop. Missile joins in as well. And that's where the difference. Rifles versus pistols coming in. 1 HP on Savage. Not much you can do here. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. 1. Nice attempt, but yeah, round not going in their favor. 4-2 is the scoreline.
Yeah, 4-2 is the scoreline, because if you look at the scoreline, the 3rd round went to SE, the bonus round. That's all they needed. That's all they needed was rifles in their hand to take down these players. Although the last round was an eco round, but still, you have to look at the history of how these rounds have been played out, and these rounds have been domination coming out from SE. They only lost a single player in the last round, but now, yes, they once again have the rifles in their hand, and it looks like they are focusing on to B once again. They are going for those mid pushes, and we did say in the last few maps, Venom 21, they did not go for those mid pushes, and that's what caused the percent. But this time around, HeadHunters are very much aware of how to actually go into the side, actually go and get the spikes down. They are trying to go in through market, but Hermione is there. Takes 1 down, but there is the trade coming out from there. Is a flank might be coming out from Gardens onto mid, and Insurgent, they are aware of this. They are aware of the possibility that there might be a flank coming in, and they slow everything down. They're going into Garden. They have swapped the side out completely. It looked like a B execution, but now it is guns blazing going into A. The shot has been called. Reyna trying to clear out Garden and everything. They are going to get onto Heaven. But Missile is there. Missile gets 1, gets traded out, and now it's the race against the clock. 30 seconds on.
Is that they're in there?
Will they expect them? Will they expect Red? They don't see Red, and Red sees Red, makes them see Red. Takes down both of the players, and SE win yet another round.
Correction on the last part. Red made them see many colors other than red, because he was using the glitch pop, Phantom, and lots of colors there. Nice frag though coming in from Savage, going for that trade, and Mr. Red playing very patiently, as every Sentinel should do. They are the silent watchguard of the sites, and Red really playing that role effectively. He's even top fragging despite having to play that passive role, having to sort of stay back, let his utility do the work, gather information, and take as less gunfights as he can. Despite all that, he's up there on the top. As we are going to be seeing the next round coming up, 5-2 is the scoreline. As we do see, it is an eco again. Kyojin's having a hard time finding that recon. It will spot him quite a bit, but that does not really do much damage to him, as he still has more than enough HP. Rotation comes in as well, and HeadHunters now reduce the impact on the A side as they're going for rotation. Cutting off all noise, trying to sell a fake, maybe. They're trying to sell a fake that they're going to be, but side of SE, they're still holding, and we're going to see a player going into Garden right now. Rosa is holding that. I think he has an operator. Aesop might be at the first casualty of that operator. Zarina Lear should be coming in. 50 seconds, execution is going to be happening. Rosa flicks a little bit too hard, and that's going to be causing him to fall back. Execution is starting in the B side. Sorry, the A side, my bad, as Aesop trying to find a fragment missile. Better weapon. It gets more impact. Sanity does find a trade, so does Savage, but it's a 2v3 scenario. Hermione takes down Sanity as Savage with only one with live with the Stinger. Trying to salvage this round. 30 seconds.
Okay, Shock Dart's going out, but he is spotted into oblivion. He has 30 seconds. Will he be able to even stay alive? Has a Stinger in his hand, so he will try to favor those head-to-head fights. He wants to get close in their faces so that the Stinger is the most useful. But these players from SE, they are sticking together. Flash goes out from the KO. They have an idea. They saw the player, so now they should be going for a change of avenue, and they're just going to defend the spike. Oh, Savage dies out after time. Did manage to pick up a rifle. Should have gone for the save, but still, he dies after time, and they shouldn't have enough money to buy. They shouldn't. It's going to be a full eco coming out from Insurgent HeadHunters. They have not won a single round after that first two back-to-back round wins. Oh, they do have money. I'm sorry.
Yeah, indeed. But they are going to be able to go for the full buys. That should allow them much more possibilities to try and close out this round in their favor. But again, good KO utility from Kyojin, spots a couple of players. Here's gunshots as well, so he should know. Oh, nice flash. Try and go for a peek, but Headhunters are giving him nothing. They want to push into the side together. They don't want to lose any early players. They don't want to lose any early picks or gunfights against SE. They want to go for the full execution. And they do have a bunch of abilities, ultimates, allowing them to try and ease that entry into the side. So does Septem Exierant. They want to either go for entry denial or they want to go for a retake as Recon comes in from Hermione, buying time for the rotations to come in. And he will be taking a lot of damage from that wall bang, but he, for now, with Soviet utility, denies the entry. Kyojin up close. Will he get a shot? No, Asa wins out that gunfight. Hermione has to go for a peek, trying to find a trade, but he's going to be falling back with 55 HP. It's not really worth it. Waiting for his teammates, that's going to be smart. The spike finally going down. Retake for the side of SC.
Yeah, but these players are smart enough to not go into a fight that they will not win. Hermione saw that he had low HP and he was just waiting for his team to come in, and that team came in. The Killjoy gets popped and everyone from the side of Headhunters in a flurry. Muffin is the last player alive and he should be... Oh, he's not detained? Okay, Hunter's Fury went out to stop the Killjoy ultimate, and Shock Darts. Both of the Shock Darts go out. It's essentially a 1v1 and Missile wins it out, but does he have time? Does he have enough time to...
I think he does. He does.
Fight? He does. Should have it. Should have it. Yeah. He comfortably has it, and Missile, it gets a little bit dicey close. At the end. It gets very close, but at the end of the day, SE do come out as the winners, and they are enjoying a comfortable 5-round lead after winning 7 back-to-back rounds.
Yeah, that will be really effective for the side of SE to try and keep their momentum up. It is getting close though. These, I mean, luckily it isn't affecting SE that much, but they are losing a lot more money every time they lose like 3 or 4 players. But for now, with this substantial lead, it's not really affecting them. Headhunters actually going for a force buy-ish. They are going to be going to rifles, half armor available for a lot of players, as again that early KO knife is going to be gathering so much information, or is the 0 point that the Valorant geeks like to call it. I think it's called the 0 point. I don't remember. There's so much going on, but yeah, the execution slows down. They are reaggressing there, but on tiles, Rosa, there is a player on that tiles position as Muffin gets the opener onto Kyojin. The A-side execution is going to be going in, and A-side getting the frag onto Missile as well. A-side is under their control as the smokes come in, retake, and the rotation from the Killjoy. Rosa still, I mean, he got the idea right. It's just a little bit late that there could be a player lurking to that position. He's still holding, and this guy is patient, but it should be about time as he's going to join his teammates for the retake. It is a 3v5, so they need as much advantage as they can as Muffin gets the opener onto red. It's all
That
on
was
Rosa
a
and
beautiful
Hermione.
that was a beautiful bait and switch play coming out from them. The Sova threw the recon dart and Wish allowed it to distract the player, but
Hello.
Hermione lines them up.
31 HP.
31 HP versus 100 tapped. The spike bait out the player. He knows where he is. He's now half tapping the whole thing. But it's just a bit too much. Savage finally peaks at the right time. Does not allow even the half tap coming out from the side of SE, and they finally win single round after losing 7 in a row. And I was about to say that they should go for attack timeout because they have lost 7 rounds in a row. So I guess the attack timeout is not needed because this might have been what they have needed to go for a momentum shift onto their side.
Yeah, single rounds can change the entire flow of the game, but again, they did lose 4 players, so economy is already gonna be a little bit flimsy, a little bit on the downside, but they are gonna be able to go for enough weapons to go for another execution onto the A side, and SE have Rosa going for a peek from Wine, gets the frag on the ace up and dashes away into safety. Missile does get a trade. Sorry, Missile does get traded as Rosa. Oh, close angle, pulls out the Blade Storms, gets one more. We might be seeing a highlight reel right here as Hermione using the Hunter's Fury to try and give Rosa more advantage. Hermione does find one onto Muffin, operator out, knows where the player is. Is he gonna try and pick up a rifle? Oh my god, the jet with the shorty, what is happening? He gets the knife skyward. Rosa, he is doing something. I don't know what that is. That is something out of this
That's
map.
humiliation. That is absolute humiliation coming out from the side of Rosa. He is the single difference maker. He started out with the op shots. One of his players died, but he did not back down. He got another one, and then he pulled the knives out and got 2 more frags. It nearly was an ace coming out from him, but the other player, Hermione, did get one with the ultimate, but now he pulls out the shotgun of all things, and he thought that he had gotten the kill with that pop to the head. The animation made him think that he got the kill, but he didn't. His teammates were there to tell him that, wait, you didn't get the kill. And he looked back. He didn't have any bullets in his secondary weapon, nor his primary. What does he do? He pulls out the only thing that he can, the knife, and goes up into the face of the Sova.
What is happening?
Nearly an ace coming out from him, and insane plays coming out from him. Again, he starts it off with the frag, and another one. That's a fallback.
The Killjoy lockdown will detain a player. Not enough though, as Rosa trying to go for one more op shot. They're gonna line up. They have the weapons. SC. This is a firing range for them. They're just practicing their aim. Rosa with the triple kill. They're spotting the last player. Ace off though gets a trade. Marshall. As Rosa, are you gonna do something again? Missile steals it from him. And Rosa, he's getting hyped up. He's definitely moving around. He knows that he is creating an impact as we're gonna come into the 9-3 scoreline. And the side switch comes in. Rosa, now with the jet, we might see a lot more effect on the entry. Nice shot, and the second one through the smoke. How does he hit that?
Didn't Venom get a better half against them on Ascent?
I think they got 3 or 4 rounds, or 5.
Yeah. So
I
oh man, what can I say? This is HeadHunters map pick.
Yeah,
this is HeadHunters map pick.
Well,
so the sliver of hope that they have going on for them is that the sides have swapped. So maybe that's what they needed. I'm not so sure though.
Indeed, but yeah, let's see. They have, they did have a double duelist lineup, so that should give them a lot more aggression to move into the sides. Rosa, though, the only duelist for the side of SC, he's doing all the heavy lifting. I mean, this guy doesn't even need any supporting duelist for him. All he needs is his teammates doing the initiating and all the other supportive works. As they're going for an A-side execution through Catwalk and through main. Only player there is going to be the Omen, trying to hold on. Smokes do come in as Rosa walking into the site. It's going to be smoking off the tree, and they're going to be executing right now as rotations are going to be coming in. Missile trying to TP in, and the retake scenario is what the side of HeadHunters are going for. They're not even going for a peek. Shock guards do come in. Lineups, I believe, from Savage. Not really doing much as Rosa. Oh, is he going to overheat here is the question. Does he go through the smoke or not? Oh, there is a recon, and he pushes through it. Gets a frag on the Savage. Muffin does straight though. 4v4. Oh!
Hey. Well, yes, we're in for an early map finish.
Control Alt Delete.
Yeah, they just got
That is
deleted. It's like GG go next because SE they are impatient. They want to finish this map as soon as they can. They want to get that 70,000 taka prize pool. Majority of that in their back. Headhunters they know their backs are up against the wall. Even though they lost the last round, they thought of going for a half buy. In this case, it would have been a full buy because they don't have much money, but they still opt to go for a frenzy and a shorty in the hands of Muffin and Elias and Savage. So they will be holding those close angles, but the fight is coming into mid. Are they prepared for
Oh,
this?
look at
Nope,
that
Muffin
entry.
wasn't.
Oh my god, this is actually a really nice angle to actually properly see that entry as SE are walking in to finally get a trade in favor of Headhunters, but immediately SE answer back, taking down a couple more. 2v3 scenario. Spike is yet to go down. SE are in a little bit of a pickle as this door does shut down. Nobody's in CT. But that does allow them a lot more time to go in for the spike plant. As we approach the 3v2 retake, Mr. Red has some utility. Alarm bot will be placed, destroyed immediately. KO utility as well. And they're not falling back. SE, they're not playing in the site. They know they have the economic advantage. With 1 HP, Hermione gets a frag, and Kyojin with the follow-up. I mean, they could have just stayed inside. They know they have the man advantage, played on trades, but they know that we have the better aim right now. We are having the better momentum. Let's just try and go for these frags. And they get it. That's going to allow them to go into an 11-3 lead with IES HH finally able to go for their buy round. Finally trying to get that first round in the second half.
Yeah, finally. Like, I get it. It's their own mapping, and it was SE's. Sorry, but it was SE who picked the side, but after the side Z swap, they lost 2 back-to-back rounds. They do have a chance in their hand because they do have the rifles in this round. It's their bonus round, so if they want to start something, this is the time to do so, but they gave away control of B side completely. All these players from SC, they are inside, they're checking boat, they're checking market. Missile is holding that angle, he should be able to see a player. Will he be able to get that player down? No, Muffin is there with the better weapon, guns Missile down, but still there are 3 players left alive inside of B side. Now, the ball is in Headhunters' court. Kyojin gets tapped down, but he still gets a frag. But now, Mr. Red is the only player alive, gets 1 player, but it's just impossible for him to stay alive when 3 players are pushing him from every possible angle, and Insurgent Headhunters finally, with the courtesy of those bonus weapons, win a round.
Yeah, I mean, again, they did let the spike get planted, and they did lose 2 players, so that is going to be doing a bit damage to their economy, but for now, they should be fine, as we are going to see SE going for their own buys. Still Spectre in the hands of Aesop, I believe, and they are going to be having a little less of a strong armory compared to SC, as they are going to be going into their own buy round. But they are executing the side of a Santi, the only sentinel for the end of Headhunters in the opposite side, so he can't really do much to try and deny the side entry. But there is a majority of players there from Headhunters. We do see Muffin and Aesop alongside with Elias trying to hold on to this side as the smokes are coming in. The jet dash by Rosa, but from under the depths of Generator, frag in favor of the side of Headhunters. But SE clap back, a bot frag somehow. The turret gets a frag on the Savage. Trades are not coming in as we enter into a retake 3v4. Utility from Killjoy to buy some more time on the spike plant. Now HH, Headhunters have to go for a retake. Muffin does get a good start as the Omen ultimate from Missile to get him out of dodge, but he's gonna fake it and stay inside as Hermione gets a couple of frags. Missile, he's still inside the side, it's all on to Aesop. Who's on top? And
They're not on top. They're not on top. They're far away from the top. They are 12-14 down, and with that round, SE secure map point for themselves, and they are on their way to get a comfortable 1-0 lead in the whole series. They just need 1 more round, and Headhunters, it's like down to the last penny. Headhunters, they don't have any money. They are able to manage 2 rifle buys, a Bulldog and a Spectre, and a shorty in the hands of Muffin because he has the knives ready for him. So that is essentially an AR for you, but the caveat is you need to hit those headshots.
Yeah, we might see the end of the first map over here. As Rosa knows that there's a player in that top catwalk area and trying to get the frag, but Aesop a little bit aggressive on that beam in, gets a frag onto Red. 4v5 scenario as Rosa. I mean, now, see, they're kind of spread out. They're kind of playing all their own game. They might be getting a little bit cocky. I won't really blame them, but Rosa all alone, makes a lot of noise, allows Ace out to gather information. Exierant does get a trade though, but it is going to be a 3v4 scenario. At the side of HeadHunters, should play patiently, should hold their angles and not over-aggress. Wait for information. Nice timing as Hermione flicks onto the head of Muffin. Spots out the killer utility, knows that there should be that sentinel position in the site. But they're now going to back off from this B side and go to A. As if they can time this right and not give away too much information, like that KO knife on Catwalk, that will give them information, but it's a fake.
Yeah.
The smoke in mid as well.
Bamboozle.
It's a big bamboozle, and it's working. Headhunters aren't completely buying it, but they are really unsure, as we are going to see the KO going for a solo fake into the A side. But he does lose the gunfight, and they realize that there's no more players there. So they're going to be realizing that this is a fake. The Killjoy bot activates in the right time. So retake for IES, but it is a 2v4. Recon spots out missile, but Hermione to make it even Steven. 2v2. Chograts are coming in, not really doing much damage.
Still two healthy players. Comparatively, you just need to hit the head shots. Down to 1v1, but Missile wins it out. Last frag goes to Missile and Septem Exierant. They were down to one player, but still they got a comfortable lead. 12-5, I believe the scoreline was. And 12-4. So not best of the shows coming out from HeadHunters. We expect more from. We expect much more from them, because this is the grand finals, and they won Ascent against Venom in a comfortable fashion. And Venom, it seems like Venom were able to give SE a better fight in Ascent than our other grand finalists, which are HeadHunters. So I don't know what's happening with HeadHunters. This is not something we expect from them. This is not what we have seen from them in the past. So they lost the first map, but it is not all over for them. They have a little bit of a break, a little bit of a buffer time to gather themselves, talk together, and prepare for the next map, which will be Icebox. But Icebox is SE's pick, so it's really going to be tough for them.
Yeah, going back into the match scoreboard, as we can see, Rosa, he's not, fragging like crazy. He's not dropping 20 bombs, 30 bombs, but 18 frags, 12 deaths. He's getting the impact done. He did pop up every now and then in the middle of the rounds. Hermione and Missile Red, they're all being consistent. Kyojin is going to need a little bit of a wake-up call, but again, his utility was really effective. His flashes were hitting, and I guess Kyojin's not really playing that fragging role today. He's trying to support his teammates, and that's exactly what they're doing. The other end of HeadHunters, though, they aren't, positive in that KD as much, but they are playing consistent. I'm not going to complain on HeadHunters. They're essentially just losing the gunfights, and their strategies are good. Their entry utility is good. Everything is fine from there, and they just need to win more of these fights and get more advantages man count advantages towards their own end. But again, we didn't really expect it to get the gap to get this big, as 13-4 is going to be the final scoreline. And as you said, SE with their own map pick on Icebox in the next one. Again, who knows? Maybe we're going to be following that fashion where the opponents of the map pick are going to be winning other rounds, but I can't really say. Every time we hope for that, it hasn't happened. But yeah, we're going to be moving on to the side of Icebox in a short while. But TJ, what are your thoughts on the teams? Who do you think really popped off today on either team's end?
Yeah, on SE side, there was Rosa. You always see Rosa popping off, and if I don't even remember any players from the side of HeadHunters doing anything, like putting any dent on the side of SE, because although if we look at the scoreline, the kills were balanced, but the map wasn't. 13-4 is not something we like to see from a grand finalist and from HeadHunters. But we will see the head-to-head in a few minutes, in a few moments, and we will get to know who went up against. I believe from the side of SE, it has to be Rosa. He was the opening fragger. He nearly got an ace. He was playing out of his mind, as he usually does.
Yeah, I mean, he got so much done. From the end of HeadHunters, I believe We did see some consistent play on their end. All of them got their frags, their impact frags, but they did lack on that one player that needed to pop off. And it's kind of a shame considering that they had two duelists and they did really falter on the attacking side. That's where they should be strong. That's where they should be doing the entries effectively. And I believe we have the head-to-head ready. So we're going to be taking a look at it in a few seconds. But I think it is going to be Aesop from there. And yeah, I'm right. We do see Aesop on the Reyna. He did find frags. He did get some impact done. But again, not enough from his end. Rosa as well, getting 18 frags. He's got a combat score of 294. And again, let me remind you, this isn't Rosa's most crazy performance.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was about to say.
This is his biggest impact frag game. Yeah. But he still manages to come out on top.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mid play coming out from Rosa, but still, a mid play coming out from Rosa managed to get a 13-4 scoreline because all of the players from ST, they showed up. All of them showed up when they needed to, and this is where you need to show up. This is the grand finals, and we will be having our second map, which will be Icebox, short time. But till then, we're going for a short break, and after that, we'll be back with map number 2.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Logitech G Valorant Ready to Play series in Bangladesh. We are back with the grand finals of the tournament, and we're done with the first map on Ascent. AC Septem Exierant coming out on top with a comfortable 13-4 score line. We're going to be moving into the second map at any moment. But before we go in there, it's me, Keith. Alongside me is TJ, Bab, and we are going to be bringing you this matchup. Well, so far it's not really been a matchup. It's been fairly one-sided. But we're hoping for that to change really soon. So let's see if that happens or not. But before we go, it is Icebox, it is SE's map pick. So what do you think? Can Insurgent HeadHunters come back?
I honestly do not know. I really want to see. I said before the start of the match because if anything goes to a best of 3, it has to be this map. This match between these two teams, because these are the big dogs from the Bangladesh Valorant scene. But the match that we saw, it did not look like that. It looked like SE were just rolling over them. It looks like an avalanche has fallen over the players of Insurgent HeadHunters, and those avalanches have 5 rocks or snowballs, and those are Rosa, Missile, and their friends. So it is not good for them, but SE, they still have a shot. They still can have a go at HeadHunters can still have a go at SE, because it is a new map, it's a new day, and if they can win this, we will be going to a third map of Bind, where the playing field will be leveled. It will essentially be a best of 1, but it is up to HeadHunters to make that possible, and it's now or never.
Yeah, I'm hoping for that to happen as well. But we were speaking of snowballs, and where else are snowballs going to be strong other than Icebox, the really cold map of Valorant filled with snow to the very brim. But let's see if the side of SE can come back. Sorry, the side of HeadHunters can come back at it, because this map we do see the side of SE opting to go for the chamber pick, maybe the Sage as well. And I feel like that is the well-announced, well-known, well-tried lineup to go for that Viper, maybe a Sage, chamber, and the duelist or initiator of your choice, maybe a Sova as well. So that is what I'm expecting from their end, but we have seen HeadHunters try and change things up a little bit. I still am pretty much 100% knowing that they are going to go for that Viper pick, because let's not joke around. Icebox is Viper's domain, and she can really provide a lot of assistance with her utility there. But I have been seeing a bunch of teams in the international scenes and even in the local scenes trying to go for double controller picks, maybe a Brim or an Omen alongside that Viper. This allows them to actually rotate a lot more effectively, and obviously we have the Brimstone and Omen utility that is also very helpful in executing sites alongside that Viper utility. So I am very optimistic for the double initiator to come in, but I'm also kind of feeling like maybe an Omen might show up here, because obviously one more thing, that Icebox is a very vertical map. You have all these up and downs where you can go up and get more off angles on your opponents. So we have the Jet, we have the Razes that can do that, but an Omen can also provide that kind of a support.
Yeah, but I'm going to make the safest prediction of this whole map. Is Rosa's going to play Jet. So that
imagine if he doesn't.
Yeah,
let me give him a call. Yo, Rosa, get off that Jet for once, maybe.
yeah, but still, I expect to see Sage coming out from either of these teams, because Sage in Icebox is a very useful operator, where you want to plant in A or B. You can use that wall, block off those many off angles that we did speak about a few moments ago. So Sage will be a viable operator, and so will Viper. We all know how picks on Icebox are, and I don't expect much deviation coming out from them, because the teams, they will want to go for the tried and tested methods, because it's the grand finals. You do not want to experiment in a grand finals. If you do, either you have like massive like beeps of steel, or you're just crazy in the head. So let's see if actually any of these teams, like SE, let's just see Rosa if he picks a single operator other than Jet. I don't think he will.
Well, that is probably the safest bet to go for. But again, if there is anyone to experiment or anyone to change things up, it is SE. They know they have a comfortable lead. They got that one map in the bag, and they know that if they want, they can apply a lot of pressure on the side of HeadHunters, and they can turn any match in their favor. So why not try things out? Why not give the people a show. We have seen Rosa play that enigmatic character. We have seen the other members of SE sometimes do stuff like that. Again, as you said, it is correct. This is a grand finals. You don't want to jeopardize any of your opportunities to get that prize pool, get the majority of the prize pool. But again, SE, I wouldn't mind seeing some new stuff, seeing some interesting utility or stuff like that. Like they did on Ascent. We have seen the very first pistol round, they pushed out of that A main from mid as Rosa dashed in. And we also saw the players from the A side come out through A main to try and catch the player of HeadHunters off guard. That not only is an effective strat, it is also sort of a mental message. Like, we are not afraid to put our pedals on the gas, even in the beginning, even on the pistols. So, regardless if that strat worked out or not, which it did not, but the message was definitely sent to HeadHunters with that scoreline in the first map.
Yeah, another message that actually works out as a very tough message, that is a 13-4 win. If you guys missed the first map, SE won 13-4, and that was HeadHunters map pick. And now we're going to Icebox, which is SE's map pick. Although HeadHunters will be starting on defense, but it's Icebox. They have a Rosa. SE have a Rosa to open things up. Rosa he has the ability. We have seen him just go into sites and opening those sites up no matter where he goes. So I wouldn't say they are at a disadvantage being on an attack, but still, if HeadHunters, it will be a shot. It will be a game of the IGLs, because whichever IGL can read the other one properly, HeadHunters IGL should be really trying to go in and read the opponent properly where those opponents are going on attack, whether that's on mid or A or B. They have to really pinpoint with the calls to actually win this and have a shot at the map.
Indeed, that is going to be really important for either end. And one more thing that they need on that information end is going to be maybe that Sova utility alongside a KO also providing support. That information of whether they're rotating from one side to another or going through mid or not, having that early information will be very advantageous, because right now there is a lot of utility involved in Icebox, not as much as aim. So you gotta make sure you have your players positioned in the map for the retake or the side defense or the side execution. So that is going to be what they're going to be trying to attempt to do. But we're going to find out real soon if our predictions are correct or not. As we're approaching the agent selections, we were right of 50%. It is going to be Muffin on the Jet, and there it is, Rosa on the Jet as well for Septem Exierant, waiting for the rest of the players. I'm waiting to see maybe a Viper as well, Sage, but Hermione does pick up his signature Sova and Sanity on the other end. Usually he goes for the Chamber. I'm surprised he went for the Sage, but looks like HeadHunters are trying to mix things up. Savage on the Sova, Mr. Red on the Sage for SE, Missile as well on the Chamber, and there is the Viper that we're predicting. Elias on the Viper, Kyojin on the Viper for SE, and an interesting pick from Aesop to go for the Reyna again. I was not expecting double duelists, but looks like that is what they're going to be sticking with.
Yeah, again, double duelists coming out, and it's going to be interesting. Because Reyna on Icebox defense, I wouldn't say, because Reyna is a much more aggressive operator. She wants to go for her utility, her tool set wants her to go for those aggressive peaks. And on defense, I don't know if it was the best pick, and you have to stick with that. So when the sides do swap, that Reyna will be a little bit more useful. But still, you have to play 12 rounds to begin it. So I'm really not sure what Insurgent HeadHunters have going on in their head. But Hermione, it seems like they'll be going for a B-side push. The drones go out. With the drone, Rosa also does. There is shock darts coming in, but they won't be spotting him out. And already the Viper wall and the Sage wall go out. Muffin is down to 13 HP, so that Sage will be making use of her utility. And the spike is already planted. 5v5 retake. Chamber being aggressive. Missile is holding the angle, and he gets shot in the head. Muffin, the player, coming ahead with the heal to start things off. And SE. Okay, the losing players left and right. Rosa and Red do make things a little bit easier for them. Kyojin is going for that flank. The Viper will go out, but it will not damage the player enough. Half tap has already been done.
Ooh, a lot of damage being done by Kyojin, trying to buy as much time as he can. Elias just stick it off the Viper's poisoned molly will be finished up, so that's gonna allow him to win out the round. His teammates supporting him as well. They did lose a few players. They did let the spike get planted. SE can try and capitalize on that to go for force buys, but for their better judgment, they aren't going for it. They will be opting for eco rounds. But again, let me remind you, Insurgents also had a pretty decent lead in the beginning stages of each match, especially on Ascent as well. They had, I think, a 2-0 lead, a 4-2 lead. Later on, they weren't able to capitalize on that. Let's see what's going to be happening as the buy rounds are going to be coming in. Muffin with a ghost. They have seen him get impact from it. Rosa with a sheriff. Shograk will be connecting. He will be receiving a heal that will get him back up to 100 HP. As Muffin gets the opener onto Missile. 4v5 immediately. And SE, despite knowing the economic condition should be better compared to side of Septem Exierant, they're playing patiently. They're not aggressing too much. They're trying to hold their ground. Trying to play based on information. As yes, he want to go up that tube into kitchen, but the Sage Wall blocking that off. For now, they are caught in this mid position. It's Muffin gets the frag on Kyojin, but nice trade by Rosa. Good headshot from the Marshal. So they are still stuck in this mid. I'm not sure what SE are trying to do. The wall has broken down in the tube area. SE are yet to try and capitalize. They are walking up to kitchen now. We do have the Sage ready as Sanity will get the frag. I think Savage wants to get that mid information, and Sanity sees more players outside that tube with 20 seconds remaining. Sorry, 30 seconds remaining. Throws up 2 players, gets another headshot onto Savage. Now they can try and capitalize. Sanity's the only one standing. Oh my god, Rosa. Sanity does get a frag onto Red, but this is so much damage from Rosa.
Oh yeah, you can't get a Spectre though.
I don't think he can get the bomb down.
Does he expect?
Yeah, Elias is standing there. Ooh, okay, sends couple extra bullets his way just to make sure he's down. But
you gotta make sure.
2-0.
You absolutely gotta make sure these players are dead, because they can come back from the dead and bite you in the back. But the players are actually dead, and now we're on to the third round. SE losing 2 back-to-back rounds. Although Rosa tried to go for some hero plays, did at some nasty headshots. But still, that was not enough because his teammates couldn't back him up. But going for that force buy in the second round, they aren't able to go for a bonus buy into the third. What? No, are they?
Yeah, looks like they're forcing onto this. Vandals in at least 3 players' hands.
Yeah, they don't have armor.
I think all.
Really? Oh, they do have armor.
They should have armor. They should have armor. Well, they are making this work somehow. HeadHunters trying to hold on to this A side. No frags out yet as Rosa doing Rosa stuff up and about. But Savage with a Spectre gets 1 and a second as well. Rosa with a quick trade though. But still, man count is against them as the Viper wall will fall down. Both sides are standstill trying to find an opener. 3 players for HeadHunters, 3 players for SC as Aesop and Sanity. Aesop taking care of Rosa, Sanity with the classic. All that remains is Hermione, and they should know he's here because they've seen the recon.
Oh, he sees the recon, but he should really go for the save. But if he can do some damages, it seems like he even knows where the players are behind the walls. I believe with the jump, he has spotted out a few players, but he will die to the blind fire coming out from Aesop and Septem. Not the best of starts for them after getting a dominating win in the first map. They lose 3 back-to-back rounds in the second one, and now they're down to pistols. And they can buy sheriffs and marshals, but will that be enough against these big guns coming out from HeadHunters? We already see an operator coming out from Muffin. There isn't a chamber on their side, so Jet will have to be the player who goes out with the op, and he should not have much opponents against him, but Rosa is there. Yeah, I just spoke too soon. Rosa going absolute ham with those knives. It gets 3 for himself. Aesop is there, but Aesop getting taken down by Rosa, up for the ace, and that's the only thing you need. You just need a Rosa. You just need him to go bonkers and get all the frags, and he gets denied the ace. But Elias is now up against 2 players.
Oh, watch his
Spike,
back.
though, is dropped in such a position that it's
He's in a difficult
position, but
it's
Elias,
one.
he expected the flank to come in, but it was just too much for him. And finally, SE get a round win, all courtesy of Rosa.
Man, what is this? Just explain to me what this is. He even gets this. I thought he was he heard him. He definitely heard him there. I heard him. He thought he was going to go for the right click to go for the safe bet. Instant just left clicks him. Aesop trying to make a difference, but he just wasn't expecting Rosa. Despite being blinded, he's able to get that frag. This guy is just single-handedly pulling SE out of situations so that they can try and keep this match afloat. That will definitely be a stinger on the hands of HeadHunters. That was a really tough round to lose, but you gotta keep that mental fortitude going. You gotta let your momentum carry you through, because they have won a bunch of rounds. They need to continue to do so, as we are gonna see an entry into the A side. Recon's gonna spot Rosa out. No frags just yet, as the walls are gonna be coming up. Mr. Red, the wall is gonna be coming from the Sage, but despite it being broken, they're able to go for the plant, and 5-5 retake again for the side of SE and HeadHunters. No frags just yet. Spike is planted. They have a bunch of utility both sides to use on the Spike to keep the Spike ticking, to keep that timer going, as Rosa gets the first frag. Trade by Elias, and the trades are coming, but not anymore, as SC Kyojin pops off. Hermione as well. They only get one. And a 3-2 scoreline, and that's what I wanted to point out. Despite having a lead, HeadHunters can't keep that, can't use enough utility to stop that Spike plant or do enough damage with that utility, lower down the HP of the players. And this is what I said in the beginning before the match started. SE, they might lose out a bunch of rounds, but whenever they turn on that switch of theirs, they just don't stop. And we might have just witnessed the turning on of the switch.
Turning on, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. I was begging to God for so that you ignored.
Okay, we will let that slide. But Missile will not let Muffin slide, although however tasty a Muffin should be, he's dead. And Rosa going in and catching Elias off guard, and the Spike is getting planted. Rosa is giving the Sage the cover. He needs to get that Spike down. Missile is there with the operator. It seems like Missile and Rosa have swapped operator duties. Rosa getting deep in the side, getting control, denying those flanks, and there is a single flanker coming in. Sanity, though, does good well for himself. Does take down Rosa, but the only player that's alive is, I believe, Aesop. And he dies to the hands of Kyojin. So, again, the scores are now equalized. It is now 3-3 the scoreline. And seems like SE are coming back.
Yeah, indeed. SE with the equalization and the economy as well should give them another boost. Buy round is available for the side of HeadHunters, though, as we see the operator in the hands of Muffin, who needs to get some frags already with it. Is not really normal seeing the jet not popping off, and we know he's capable of getting that impact with the operator. As we begin this next round, 3 for each side, as the Hunter Tree is going to be coming up early for the side of HeadHunters, trying to hold on to the site. Not really getting much done with it, as Aesop, nice long range shot onto the menace that is Rosa. Drone from Hermione doesn't, oh, he actually gets the tag, and the counter drone coming in. Revive onto Rosa, nothing to actually stop the revive from going down. Missile peeking with that operator, and you get a frag, just not yet, as we see as the HeadHunters aware of his existence on that belt, so they're not really gonna give him any chance to get the frag. Now they're rotating to B. The only one holding on there is the Viper Elias, and no rotations coming from HeadHunters just yet, so they really need to put the pedal to the metal. I don't think Elias can hold on all alone, and yep, as I say that, Kyojin gets the frag, lets out the Viper Spit, Spike will be planted, and they're going to be set up for quite a while before HeadHunters arrive. A little late to the party.
Yeah, a little late to the party indeed, but the Viper Spit being popped. There is very little way that Shay and Insurgent HeadHunters can get in, but 2 kills will help them out. But still, they didn't get the Viper down, so that Viper Spit will stay up for quite a while. Savage, very low HP, jumps down to his demise, and SE now have the lead. It seems like if they can do a repetition of the first map, we will be seeing another very, very long streak of rounds being taken by SE. But this is a good time for Headhunters to go for a timeout call because they have lost 4 back-to-back rounds. So they will want to sort things out between themselves. I don't know why they didn't take any timeouts in the first map. But this time around, they have remembered that, oh, okay, we can take these tactical pauses to like fix out the tactics between ourselves, and that is what they are actually doing. That is very much needed because they lost 4 back-to-back rounds. If I need to remind you guys, and that is not a good look on your team. You won 3. You had the lead and you lost it.
Indeed, they need to make sure they use this time to their full potential. But before we carry on, I want to mention something about today's stream that we from the Logitech G Ready to Play series. We still have the MVP poll happening to find out the most popular Valorant player in Bangladesh right now. So make sure you check out the page in-game Esports Bangladesh page to vote for your favorite player. So you want to make sure the guy you're rooting for gets up there on the top. In order to do that, you got to go to the page and vote, and make sure you drop a follow or a like while you're at it. So we're going to be moving in. The pause is going to be turned off. And again, we did see a pause coming in from the side of HeadHunters. But one thing is that they are going for it before an eco round. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but usually teams prefer to go for it before their buy rounds. And Missile, quick reaction, Muffin jumping to his death. Red with the follow-up onto Aesop. Rosa out with the shorty, 12 HP. Hermione gets one into life. Oh my god, it's Savage. Running classic out. Gets one more. Can he hold on to the side? Backup is here from his teammate Sandy from Yellow. Holding on, and he says hello as well. Eco round victory. As we see, it's on to Insurgent and Savage.
Wow.
Talk about making money with the Stinger and the classic. Sandy joining in as well with the Marshall. And I think the tag pause, I was saying, you know, that I go for it before a buy round, so that you have the weapons to actually implement your plans with the highest chance of possibility of working out. But yeah, they're like, oh, you want to see a chance, and they just land the nuttiest stuff with eco weapons. I mean, I don't even buy a Stinger ever.
Yeah, me neither. It's not a weapon that I like to buy in this game. But Missile, though, does not lost his operator in the last round, but brings out his ultimate, which is essentially a 5-bullet operator. But this time, their choice of attack is looking to be A. The jet has been spotted out with the help of the owl drone, so that should give away some inkling to the side of Insurgent Headhunters that the attack might be coming, and the jet does so. Loses a lot of HP, but Rosa is deep inside of sight. Both of the shock darts miss him out, but Muffin is there with the frags. He even spots out the other player. Muffin peeks, but he gets taken down. His friend gets taken down. Rosa is still alive, being a menace. Finally, Savage takes him out, but instantly gets taken out by Red. Missile and Red and another player are alive. Elias is the last person alive. The op shot misses out, but not the second time. SE, after losing that shocker of the round, they are back to sanity, and they took down sanity, but still a very calm and collected round for them. They didn't let that eco lose get to their heads. They just kept their heads straight and came back strong into round number 9.
Yeah, absolutely. And because they know when they need to go absolutely berserk and go crazy to secure rounds, and when they need to play consistently to try and keep a safe bet in their favor. As now we can see a possible mid push, from SE. They're trying to rush up there as we see Rosa dashing up on top of the tube. Doesn't spot anyone from ramp. He's looking at all the angles. No one's there yet, as they're going to go under mid. As you can see, the top is going to be walled up as Andy will get a frag. Another one from Aesop. Missile does straight onto Muffin with that operator before dying out, but still a 4v3 situation in favor of Headhunters. Ultimates available for either end to try and get some safe frags, as nice long range shot from Hermione. Trade from Sandy though, and we're gonna see wallbangs coming in. Sandy with a full open and a 3k from this man. Rosa finally is able to finish him off, but with no chance of winning on the gunfight. Surrounded from all sides. He had HP to work with, but Elias just runs in to finish him off. 5-5 scoreline, and the side of Insurgent Headhunters kicking and screaming to stay in this. Nice shots from either side.
Yeah, beautiful play coming out from HH at the end. They did not give Rosa the 1v1s. They did not give Rosa the breathing space after that kill onto Sanity. They just rushed him. They just did not let him move at all and took him down. And that's how you take down Rosa. You have to swarm him. You cannot give him the 1v1s or he will pick you off one by one by one. He is one orb away from getting that ultimate in his bag, but still they have rifles to buy and scoreline is now tied. Rosa going into A, being the brunt of the aggression, does see Asap, and Asap is trying to run away. Rosa dashes up, hits a kill onto Muffin. Best, the operator, and the 100 Fury also comes out. Does tag Muffin down to very low HP. All the other players, they're alive, but Asap and the Savage alive no more. Only 2 players left from the side of HeadHunters, Sanity and the Viper. They're just trying to save face. They're just trying to save these bullets, but Rosa will not even let them do that. Sanity going away, but still managed to get the frag on to Rosa and Hermione, but he just gets swarmed by Kyojin, finally dies and falls, and SE once again get their lead. This might end up with a 6-6 half. You never know.
This might, but economy is looking a bit flimsy for HeadHunters. We've seen them win out.
You can't rule them out with a low economy.
I would rule them out before, but after that specific run, I'm like, okay, we never know. You never know what's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. So a 6-6.
Justin Bieber, never say never.
All right, the references. Please don't sue us, Justin. We're just joking around. You never know with that guy's mood. Yeah, apologies to all Beaver fans, but yeah, we are gonna see a 6-5 scoreline for now, and Rosa again pulling out the Blade Storm, gets a frag onto Muffin. Like as I said, 6-6, not a bad half, but again, 7-5 is not bad either. They can still, on the attack side, counter on this, and now with the Viper Spit activated on the B side, it's gonna be a really hard side to push. Missiles spawning out the Sage in the mid area, Sandy's going for a revive onto Muffin. And the revive will be successful. They don't trade him out. They lose a bunch of HP on a bunch of players, but they are out unscathed. Another peek from Muffin. Oh, just Rosa want to go. So much is happening in this mid area. They're at a standstill. They're at this, Western standoff. As they finally call it quits. Yeah, they finally call it quits and try to hit that A side. With 40 seconds left, they don't really have much time for a rotation. As Rosa with the Blaze Storms, he's going to be taking the lead again. Hermione with his drone. And now the side of HeadHunters, Muffin with his own Blaze Storm activated, knows exactly where each other is. Updraft comes in. It's going to be Rosa running out of weapons, but Sanity to confirm the frag onto him. But the hit is still on. Septem Exierant still trying to walk inside. Hermione gets the frag on the Sanity. We don't see the shorty come out, but for now, I don't know what's happening. As Missile gets a couple of frags. They're going for the did it successfully as well. 3v4 as Savage with the Bulldog trying to make something happen. Fails Hermione with the trade. All onto Elias. 1v3. Try and get the half as much as he can in his team's favor. All 3 of them are just holding the angle. What did he do there? All 3 of them in that corner. And as soon as he peeks, Elias just dies. 7-5. And this is a much closer half. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. This is the closest half we've seen since the semifinals.
Yeah, the HeadHunters really took that first map to heart, and they did not let it mess with their heads though. And they are coming out stronger, and now they're on attack. So if they can replicate what SE did on the attack, it will be a comfortable lead for HeadHunters. But still, 7-5 at the scoreline. SE is enjoying a 2-round lead, but that lead can go away in a matter of seconds, because if you lose the pistol, you are poised to lose the second round too. So that lead can turn into a 7-7 very fast. So SE really have to be on their foot, really have to be alert to not let that happen. Rosa, though, going in front of A, really trying to stop any aggression if Insurgent HeadHunters were bringing any, but they aren't bringing any. They're being slow. They're going into B. There's only one player inside of B. That is Ilias. Sorry, not Ilias. Who's the Viper? I forget. But, Kyojin is the only player alive, and the Viper wall going out will deny him vision. There is a Sage present, so the Sage Wall should go down, and the plant should also go. Oh, Sage Wall doesn't go down.
Interesting place.
Oh, yeah, interesting
placement. In a very
placement.
open position. This will be really advantage to them because they're going to have a lot more vision on the bomb and missile as he can spot out where the bomb is. A lot of Viper utility coming in. Kyojin, you can't shoot that. You know, as a Viper, you should know that. But for 5v5, it's turning into a 4v5 as Sandy gets the opener onto Hermione. Red with the trade, and the trades begin, the gunfights begin. Elias will break the cycle. Kyojin trying to keep it going, taking down Muffin 2v2. And low HP on the players of SC. They're both in the one-shot region because of the Viper decay. Wall comes out, but it's not where the spike is there.
Did they not know where the spike was?
The information was not relayed. Okay. But it doesn't matter. Mr. Red gets both frags. And this will allow them to get the spike planted, with a second to spare. It got a bit flimsy there. Kyojin's again, ensuring they are down.
I was a bit worried when the Sage Wall went in the default spot. Like, wait, didn't the call out go that the spike is not in the default spot? But Mr. Red did manage to get the frags out in the name. So it's you either get the round spike or you get the frags, and they chose to go for the frags. But SE now enjoying a 3-round lead, but HeadHunters, courtesy of that spike getting planted down, are able to buy full-on Spectres, 5 Spectres and 5 half armors on the plate for themselves, and they can, did that Viper utility get wasted because of a failed lineup? Or was that a Sova?
That was a Sova recon.
Oh, sorry.
That recon actually, catches out if anybody is going for aggression. Because on this A side, we might see aggressive plays from Duelist in the defensive side. But Aesop hitting that frag roll over his charge as he sees Sandy pushing in, dashes into the face of Muffin, but doesn't get the chance to pull the trigger as Muffin will be eliminating him. Elias a follow-up onto the chamber, and it's a 2v4, but turned into a 2v3 as Kyojin tries to even out the odds. Muffin taken down, utility goes out. Both of these agents, Sova and Viper, have so much utility to try and deny this spike plant, but so far they can't. We do see this player spotted out. Kyojin up on top. Does he know? Savage, do you know? Is the question as he's getting swarmed from all sides. Kyojin finally managed to get the shot in. Elias has HP, but SC, they're just bulldozing as he's the only one remaining. Try and keep this spike going. They're gonna try and stick it, but Kyojin crosshair placement is in perfection as he lands a nice headshot onto Elias. Make this an 8-5.
Yeah, and these players from SC, they trust their teammates so much, because if I was in their shoes, I would not. Okay, I play with a bad stack, but still, I would not trust my teammate to get the kills. Whereas this player from SE, they are just sticking it, hoping, really relying on their partners to go and get the frags and save their asses, and they are able to. So SE enjoying a 9-5 lead, a much better showing from HeadHunters, but it is still falling short. SE really running away. HeadHunters are buying all Spectres in the last round. They will be now down 2 pistols, and it seems like they have a bit of a coordination going on between their whole team. All of them buying Sheriffs and going to A, I believe.
Spikes are outside A, and I think Savage, he was trying to find a pick onto any player aggressing out of B, but instead it's going to backfire. Rosa getting the frag onto him. 4v5 early on. As Kyojin gets a follow-up. Muffin does trade, but gets traded out immediately as it's going to turn into a 4v2. Rain Ultimate available for the side of Aesop.
Gun here.
But now they don't really have much of an opening anywhere. They are heading into A, where 3 of the 4 players from SE are positioned. They don't have the best of weapons, but they can't really outgun.
Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it's like 2 honks for 2 alive players, and make that a 1 honk, make that a 0 honk, because both of those players from HH are just dead in a matter of seconds. They get spotted out, and they get taken out. SE now 2 rounds away from securing series point for themselves, and it's looking like another comfortable lead for themselves. They lost 3 rounds in the whole of map 1, which was their own map pick, but on Icebox, it's still 5 rounds advantage for them. It's still very comfortable. They can mess around and do a bit of a tomfoolery and try to mess with the heads of HeadHunters. But knowing SE, they won't do that. They will stay true to the tried and tested methods. There's a Guardian being played by Hermione. Does find the head of Asa, but Savage is there to get the trade. Rosa does spot out a player, and he is spotted out. And, he just sees too many targets in front of him and can't take them out. Hyojin, though, comfortably sitting outside of his Viper's pit. Missile does get one in the Dome of Sanity. So the Sage isn't there to give anyone any heals or revives. And they're all going to A, which should be the case. It's still the advantage is with Headhunters. And that should be a spike down, should be around.
Yeah, that should confirm this round. They aren't predicting the flank. There is no utility to actually guard that flank, but a 1v3 scenario, Kyojin. He does have HP, he does have some utility and weapons, but each Headhunters now finally aware of that flank positioning. I think Muffin was hurt by Kyojin, doesn't even get to land that shot. It's gonna be a 10 and 6. Headhunters getting a few rounds here and there, and that's what they need. They don't have much room for error, though, that's the question. So they need to make sure they win these rounds in a row, and that's gonna get difficult considering that SC, they have a pretty decent economy, so they should be able to buy out quite consistently. But we are going to see Headhunters going for another pause. I'm unsure if it's a tactical or a technical, but regardless, they definitely need a breather. Okay, we got around, let's try and keep this momentum going, talk amongst their players, make sure the IGL has explained strategy to everyone, because you can't really let you be distracted, especially in this high stakes scenario. You've lost the first map, you are down 4 rounds. In the second one, you lose this, it's all over. All that hard work for nothing. I mean, not nothing, you're going to get second place, but you definitely won that first place, and that's going to be snatched away. So hopefully we are going to see a bit of a momentum change, bit of a change of pace in the game, and Headhunters try and close out this match much closer, much more equal in the terms of scoreline. So the pause is almost done, but let's see what either side are going to come up with after it ends.
Yeah, it's still my commendations to Headhunters, because they are actually making use of those tactical timeouts, which they didn't do in the first map. So the last time we saw a tactical timeout coming out from the Headhunters, they won a beautiful and gnarly eco round. But this time around, they have rifles. So that tactical pause, if they can make something out of it, they will close down the lead and maybe put a dent on the economy of SE2 in the process. So a very, very crucial round coming out ahead in front of them. Hermione peeking through mid, trying to spam that angle, but Missile will get the first frag onto Muffin, and he will immediately teleport back safe. He has done his job. He doesn't need to go for those aggressive peaks, but Asa is there to shut down Hermione.
Yeah, that's going to be a really big frag. Amazon and the revive is going to be changing stuff up as well. Now Muffin back in the game. Doesn't have armor, but his presence is still going to be a little bit intimidating on SE's end. As now with 1 minute left in the clock, they have time to make a decision, but they look kind of like confused. They look like lost dogs. Like, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? They've decided to go down mid. Now Mr. Red holding there with the Vandal might click a few heads here and there. Oh, trying to go for those one taps, ADS, but nothing really connects, as they are going to be able to push down to mid 2B. We do see a couple of players holding on to that side of B, as Missile will be the first point of contact. Misses the shot as Sanity takes care of him, but Red gets one onto Elias. Kyojin still inside, denies the spike plan. That's going to be huge. Trying to go into safety, but the slow orb. And just in time for Rosa to come in, taking down Muffin. Willis and Sages trying to work together as Red takes on Sanity. It's all on to Aesop. He's got the Reina ultimate available if he wants to go for it. Revive also available for Mr. Red, who's running away, and Rosa coming in from the off angle. Ensures the 11 and 6 and 1 away from match point. SC. It looks so good for Headhunters, but yeah, some of these players are making the difference. They're playing smartly, they're holding into the side, not really going aggressive. They're waiting for the players to come into them, and that's going to be allowing them to get closer to that victory and winning this tournament.
Yeah, although Rosa has 23 frags, the frags were not as flashy as we saw in the first map. But still, he is the difference maker, and all of his team is helping him out too. None of the players below 10 kills. And on the other side, if you look at the kills, it's not really a fair point to say. Rosa, though, 33 HP with the Blade Storm out, will die. Headhunters, but Headhunters are going into a Missile, though. The operator gets a frag, and Red That is a beautiful, beautiful spray transfer coming out from him to shut down Elias and Muffin. And now Septem Exierant have the match point on their hand. And yeah, Headhunters, I don't know what you do at this point. You are 6 rounds behind. And even if you get back-to-back rounds, you are only taking us to an overtime. And overtime does not guarantee you a win. And even if you win, it does not guarantee you the series, because we might just be fine, but it is not looking like that to be the case. So even if this map ends, don't go anywhere. We are expecting SE to win out, but we should have an interview present from the captain of SE, which will be Missile, I believe. So when this match ends, stick with us.
Okay, as we see, the beginning of the end might be coming in, but SE do have a disadvantage man count wise, as it's only Missile and Rosa remaining. The spike is in the open, though. They have to go back for it. That gives time for these players of SE to come into the site. Well, one thing that the side of Headhunters can do is go for rotation, but Rosa just doesn't catch them in time. That could have been a huge moment for him to confirm that victory. Now, Missile, slow and steady. How does he predict? Savage in that angle. Headshots 2v2 now, as this could be the most intense moment of the tournament. SC one away from victory, one away from getting all the glory of winning the first season. There's a Logitech ready-to-play series, as a spike plan noise confirms. It is going to be the A side where we possibly ended all, ladies and gentlemen. Muffin, triple kill, trying to keep it alive. It's all onto Rosa. How poetic is this as he spots the head, but Muffin is sharper, and he gets the frag onto him. We're still going 12-7, but again, as TJ said, you're still going to be taking it to overtime. You're still going to have to win through the overtime, not before winning, I think 5 more rounds. And then you got to win 2 in a row against SC, who can full buy after every round, and then you have to win another map. So, yeah, they still have the odds stacked against them, but I hope that they can pull this out. It would be it would be a sight for sore eyes if they can do it, but yeah, their economy isn't the best. I think I still saw a Bulldog there. So as we're beginning the final round, this is still very intense.
Yeah, losing 3 players in the last round will put them in a bad position, with Hermione trying to go with the Hunter's Fury. Will spot out these players, and those players are flashed up. Rosa gets a frag. He knows where the other one is. That Hunter's Fury also gave them some information. Tagged down Muffin, and Muffin gets gunned down. Rosa is still alive, and Rosa is still hunting. He gets one. He spots the other one, and
does he get an ace to finish it off?
Is alive, but no. Again, the ace gets denied. The Missile is already on the flank, and Hermione, he did not. I don't think he expected this player to be there. He just that was just tapping. He was just like spamming. He was just spamming.
I don't know what happened, but
he predicted that player to be there.
Oh, I don't know what happened. Hermione got the frag, as he said. It could be unintentional. Maybe he pre-fired there. Maybe he just. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah, if we get someone, if we get an interview from SE, I will ask that question. Hermione, did he actually see the player?
Hermione, you better answer up for what you did. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, we are done. We have our winners for the Ready to Play Series Valorant in Bangladesh. It is Septem Exierant, and to a certain degree, it is a bit unsurprising. We were expecting a much closer match, though Headhunters were able to try and tie things out, try and get a much better scoreline. It has been SE pretty much since the beginning. 2-0 in the BO3, getting the first map with ease, losing out a few in the first one, but not really losing their composure. And there we go, the scoreboard is there. Rosa just one shy of the 30k. I mean, that would be epic, DJ. If he got the ace to finish things off and drop 30 frags, just you don't get the cherry on top of the cake. You just don't. But his team getting impact as well.
Yeah, although Headhunters did better in the first map, they managed to get 7 rounds off of SE. It still wasn't enough. And look at the top fragger from HH. He is half the kills of Rosa. So I don't know, man. Rosa is making all the difference. And a player's difference, I believe Headhunters are feeling, is Mock. If you guys remember, Mock was a part of this team when it started off, and he was fragging out of his mind. He was even poached by other teams, but then he came back to HeadHunters, but he is nowhere to be seen in this lineup, and I believe that is costing them a lot. He would have been able to go toe-to-toe, head-to-head up against Rosa and get those opening frags out from the SE, but he's not here, and the rest of the players cannot just fill that gap that he left.
Indeed, they did get a bunch of new faces around to try and make this lineup more viable, and to a certain extent it is. You got to the grand finals, you went up against the strongest team in the region, in the country of Bangladesh, and you put up a decent performance. It's not what we expected, but again, you got a much better scoreline than most of the teams. So yeah, definitely pat yourself on the back. That was a pretty fun match to witness. We saw some interesting plays from either end, but we have our winners once again. If you're late, ladies and gentlemen, you just missed a pretty impressive matchup. We have our victor Septem Exierant, and I guess we're gonna go into the head-to-head real soon to see which player from either team performed the best. And from the end of Septem Exierant, we have Rosa, and from the side of Insurgent, we have Santi. Now, I believe there could be a mistake with the
yeah.
yeah.
I still know that the player. I think the kills and the name got mistaken. I believe. Just the kills got mistaken because he had 29 kills, and the rest of the stats do seem okay. 439 average combat score, 8 first bloods, 1.8 KD. What can this man not do?
Not play Jet. That's what he can do. But
any other operator than Jet.
Yeah, but that lets him output his full potential, so why not go for it? So that will result in SE winning, and again, great attempt from the side of HeadHunters to try and win out this matchup. And overall, it's been a fun tournament. It's been a great time, but one more thing that I would like to point out before we go in, that this is not over, ladies and gentlemen. We still have another second season coming. We do have our winners, we have our final score lines and everything, so we're going to be able to arrange a much better seeding for the follow-up, and we're going to have much proper tournaments so that we get the most enjoyment, most action out of every one of the players. So it is over, but we're not done. I want to ask you, TJ, before we go in with the follow-up. Oh, there it is. There's the updated.
Yeah.
There's the updated. 29 kills.
Everything was correct.
Rosa.
Just the kills were wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, we have Rosa with an exceptional scoreline, and I want to see more from him in the next ones. So hopefully you guys are going to be there. But again, as I was talking, TJ, I want to ask you, how did you enjoy the tournament? Did it live up to expectations and whatnot?
It did live up to expectations. As an SE fan, it did live up to my expectations, but I really expect the HeadHunters to really come up a bit more. They needed to step up their game to go up against SE. We expected a third map because we didn't see any third maps in the semifinals or the grand finals, and if we had to see one, it should have been this one, and it wasn't even close. I don't know. I really thought that HeadHunters would be able to get more rounds and at least a map out from SE, but that wasn't the case. So still beautiful played out. SE just read their opponent very, very well, very nicely, and they did everything to cancel out anything that HeadHunters had to pull out on the table. So kudos to SE. Congratulations to them for winning this out, and maybe even making themselves the best team from Bangladesh going into the next few seasons.
Yeah, we're definitely going to keep our eyes on him. We're going to keep our eyes on the players and all the finals that have come up. Again, all the shout out to all the teams that competed, and Venom 5 as well. Sorry about the noise again. I live in a very weird place, but yeah, Venom 5,
do you live between a rock and a hard place?
You out of context, it sounds so weird, especially coming from a boomer like you. The fact that you know some of these sayings is interesting. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. But yeah, kudos to all the teams that participated. Venom Esports as well. Your rosters are incredible, so I want to see more from them. But yeah, for now, we don't really have anything. We're just waiting on a confirmation from our admins that if we have one of the players on for an interview. But what are some of the things, TJ, that you want to ask him, that you want to know about the team, or about the captain, or anything? Any questions you have? Any previews or teasers for us?
I don't know. The last question that I had in mind was Hermione's last P. I really don't think he saw him. It was just spamming, and he got he was just being trigger happy, and that being trigger happy made him happy, because that was the round winning, the map winning, and the tournament winning kill. That was so random and so unexpected. I don't know what to say about that. Yeah, I do have
Yeah,
some more questions, and I believe we will be getting the captain from SE on the call with us. We're just still waiting on that. But while we're waiting, I would like to sincerely thank every one of you guys who were watching, every one of the players who participated. It was a huge tournament. We had 150 teams playing, and those teams had a lot of players. I believe 750 players at least. So all of these players, they were the sole reason that we were able to put out such a beautiful tournament, and I would like to thank them for the core of my heart.
Yeah, indeed. And I had a great time coming out here as well. It's been a grueling journey, but in the end, it's all worth it. I had a great time watching all the talent. I had a great time watching all the teams. And this gives me more hope in the future that someday Bangladesh will be able to go to a scenario in Valorant where we can compete against the best of the best. We still have some rising stars. We have potential amongst our players, the younger generation, the older generation. They're all trying to take us to the top. And hopefully we're going to see more tournaments like this where we get to witness the greatness that Bangladesh has to display with the tournament. But yeah, it's been a fun journey. I want to thank all the admins, everyone streaming, all the observers, everything. Thanks to you, TJ, as well, for joining me. I had a great time talking about the game with you, and we're still waiting about the call for the captain to join us. But one more thing I want to ask: who was your highlight player in the tournament? What player did you always oh, this guy? It's just
Can I not pick Rosa?
Maybe.
Yeah, except
I mean,
Rosa.
obviously he's on everybody's he's on everybody's side. But looks like we have confirmation, TJ, about the captain. Hyojin from SE will be joining us real soon, so keep your eyes on him. So yeah, we're just waiting for him to join us.
Yeah, and here he is. Sorry, these are the champions.
These are
SE. The flashing lights coming out. A missile, Mr. Red, Vectron, Rosa, Hyojin, Hermione. All of these players are champions in their own rights because although Rosa was one of the star players, all of the other players enabled Rosa to go for those gnarly peaks. And we already have Hyojin with us. Hello, Hyojin.
Hello, what's up?
Yo.
Hello, Hyojin. Big fan,
Hello.
by the way. I'm just saying, I've seen you play for a long time. And thank you for joining us today. Congratulations on the win, first of all. Hopefully you had the match was full of your expectations. Do you think your team performed the way you intended for them entirely?
Yeah, first map was what we intended. We knew that we will lose the pistol round, so we just gave that up. And on attack rounds, we just dominated on Ascent. In Icebox, we lost a few rounds to some ecos, but it was 13-6, so I will take that.
Yeah, speaking about ecos, I don't know if you remember the eco round after the tactical pause. They went for the half buys, and it was the Sova, I believe, who was able to get a lot of frags with the Stinger. What was going on in your mind after that round?
I was like, what the fuck, man? My teammate was throwing, I felt like that.
Yeah, you don't expect the Stinger to play like that, but one more thing I want to ask is, this tournament was a pretty big tournament for the Valorant scene, so did you guys prepare in any special way for this tournament, or is it just like SE doing SE things?
It's like SE doing SE things, so we just stream with teams, yeah.
So no special preparation is needed for them.
We just practice in scrims, so we don't practice for teams supposed teams we are going to play.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw you a question that I have on my mind after last map. Like the last frag that Hermione had to end it, was that did he see the player, or was just him just tapping away?
I don't know. I did not expected him that moment.
Okay,
I did not see the last kill.
From our point of view, it looked like that he was just randomly spamming, and that player got into his crosshair. So I just wanted to know that. But okay.
It's Hermione. It's Hermione. He's like that.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of kills through smokes.
Yeah.
Indeed. Also, playing the Sova as well. Yeah, I really like Hermione, especially as a Sova main. But speaking of players and your entire team, I think this is a question we all sort of know the answer to, but I'm still want to ask you regardless. Who do you think is the MVP for your team that pulls you through this tournament? Who is the most valuable player?
It's Rosa, undoubtedly. He got the
Oh,
most
I
frag.
swear it was somebody else.
Yeah, we get the most kills from Rosa. We just support him with what he can do best, you know. I'm like support most of the maps. Missile also Hermione is a big impact in our team. Also Red, great Sentinel.
Yeah, so what you're saying is it's all a team effort to enable Rosa to get those kills.
Obviously.
Yeah, but
he's a very aggressive player.
Yeah, it seems to be the case.
Oh, really?
But
really? Is he?
So, you guys are the champions. Like, I would ask you how you're feeling after being the champions, and what advice do you have to the opponent team or any other team that is watching who wants to take that spot away from you?
It feels great to win. Obviously, it's a huge tournament from Logitech. But opponent need to work hard, you know, to beat us. At this point, we haven't lost a map in like a while.
Indeed. Are you guys a bit disappointed, considering that some of the teams weren't able to take you to the third map?
Not really. It is what we expected.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so thank you, Hyojin, for joining us on the call. Congratulations to you and your whole team once again for winning this. We will see you soon if you keep winning like this.
Yeah, I hope we can win like this, and thank you very much.
Yeah, we have our champions once again: Missile, Red, Vectron, Hermione, and we just had with us Hyojin. So they are your rightful champions of the Logitech, ready to play Bangladesh. And now this is just the starting of the journey for them. We do have more seasons, and this was just between Bangladeshi teams, and we will go international, regional after this. So they have more challenges ahead of them, and we will be keeping an eye on them, seeing how they do actually perform.
Indeed, and before we go, ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you once again that this tournament is organized by Logitech, and our strategic partner is In-Game Esports. Thank you to them for hosting this. Thanks to all the players once again for playing and giving it your all. Thanks to all the admins, all the staff that have worked to make this tournament possible. And just finally, thank you to this amazing community to make this tournament this much more entertaining. So that's pretty much what I have to say. TJ, any final words from me before we say goodbye?
Yeah, I would once again like to thank you guys, the viewers who stuck with us, who I have a cold and I know my voice is irritating, but you guys still stuck through it. So thank you guys, and thank you to all of the casting team, whoever is here and whoever worked behind the scenes, to referees, to the ops, to the production team, all the players who registered, and everyone once again who turned out to watch these tournaments. Thanks to Logitech for organizing this tournament, and thanks to In-Game Esports for being our strategic partner. Till then, me, TJ Bob, and Kirito are signing off, and we will be seeing you in the next edition.